guys, I'm Jeremy and today we are going to tackle about derivation using different rules. So, let's get started!
Now I'll show you the constant rule. If we have the derivative of any constant number, it is equal to 0. This is the rule how to get the constant rule. For example, we have the derivative of 2x to the power of 4 minus 6x to the power of 3 plus 10. Now we will get the derivative of this. We have 2 the derivative of x to the power of 4 minus 6 the derivative of x to the power of 3 plus the derivative of 10. Then 2 bring down the 4 x 4 minus 1, then negative 6 bring down the 3 x 3 minus 1, and we all know that the derivative of a constant number is equal to 0. Then multiply 2 times 4 is equal to 8, x 4 minus 1 is equal to 3, negative 6 times 3 is equal to negative 18, x 3 minus 1 is equal to 2, and we have our final answer. Next is the power rule. If we have f of x is equal to x to the power of n, where n is any number that is positive or negative, where n is not equal to 0. If we get the derivative of f of x, we have f prime x is equal to bring down the n times x raised to the power of n minus 1. This is the rule if we have to get the power rule. Example, we have g of x is equal to x raised to the power of 5. Then we have to get the derivative of this. We have g prime x is equal to bring down the 5 x 5 minus 1. So 5 minus 1 is equal to 4, and we have the final answer. Next, if we have the derivative of x to the power of 1/4, then bring down the 1/4, x 1/4 minus 1. So 1/4 x 1/4 minus 1 is equal to negative 3 over 4. We have the final answer. Now is the product rule. If we have the derivative of u of x times v of x, it is equal to the formula u prime x, which is the derivative of the first expression, times the second expression v of x plus the first expression u of x times the derivative of the second expression v prime x. This is the rule if we get the product rule. For example, we have the derivative of e to the x times sine x. Now we will get the u of x. It is e to the x, and v of x is sine x, and the derivative of u of x is u prime x is equal to e to the x. It is still the same. Then the derivative of v of x is v prime x is equal to cosine x. Now we will substitute. U prime x is e to the x times vx is sine x plus u of x e to the x times v prime x, which is cosine x, and we can factor out the e to the x, and it's still the same thing with e to the x times sine x plus cosine x. And that's the final answer. Next is the quotient rule. If we have the function f of x is equal to u of x over v of x, and the derivative of this is f prime x is equal to the derivative of the numerator function u prime x times the denominator function v of x minus the numerator function u of x times the derivative of the denominator function v prime x all over the denominator squared. For example, we have the function f of x is equal to x cubed over sine x. And we all know that u of x is equal to x cubed. And the derivative of u of x is u prime of x is equal to 3x squared. And v of x is equal to sine x. And the derivative of this is v prime x is equal to cosine x. Then substitute. U prime x is 3x squared. V of x is sine x minus u of x cubed times the derivative of v of x is cosine x, and all over the denominator squared, which is sine squared x. And that's the final answer. And lastly is the chain rule. If we have the derivative of f of g of x, and we all know that our inner function is g of x and our outer function is f of g of x, it is equal to the derivative of our outer function, which is f prime of g of x, times the derivative of our inner function, the g prime of x. For example, we have the derivative of 11x squared minus 2 raised to the power of 3. First, we have to identify the inner function, which is g of x is equal to 11x squared minus 2, and the derivative of this is g prime x is equal to 22x, and our outer function is f of x is equal to x cubed, and the derivative of this is f prime x is equal to 3x squared. And we have to substitute the formula. We have 3, and our g of x is 11x squared minus 2 and squared times our g prime x, which is 22x. Then multiply 22 times 3 is equal to 66x times 11x squared minus 2 all raised to the power of 2, and we have our final answer.